Hello, everyone. We have Coach Robert Saleh. We can now begin with questions.
Robert, we haven't talked to you in a while. Just wondering if you could update us on some injuries, specifically with regard to Joe Tippmann and Gary Wilson, and what are your plans for Dwayne Brown this week?
With regard to injuries, with everyone coming back from the bye week, we'll have a better idea. We're going to use today and tomorrow to kind of see where everyone's at, and I'll have a better update for you guys on Wednesday. Same thing with Dwayne Brown.
Robert, just preliminarily with Tippmann, did it seem like it might be something that could be a few weeks?
No, Tippmann is he's a pretty quick healer. So like I said, it looked good this morning, but again, we'll see. I have a much better idea for you guys on Wednesday.
Robert, you guys kind of found yourself in a similar situation last year, coming off an emotional win against the Bills and then going into the bye week and kind of unraveled, I guess, after the bye week. I guess, did you learn anything from last year to take into this year, how to handle that bye week?
I think this is the third time we've tried something different, to see if we could try to kickstart ourselves coming off the bye week. The shame of last year, just offensively, I think we were so depleted. By the time within the first couple of weeks of the bye week, we just could never recover. But the important thing is to stay healthy, keep preparing the way we prepare, keep playing the way we play, and hopefully we end up on the right side of the result.
I have a question just following up on that theme. Not so much what to do coming out of the bye week, but for the second year in a row, you guys are in position to make a playoff run. I'm wondering, as a coach, what takeaways you could use from last year to apply to this year, because obviously it ended on a long losing streak. What do you pull away from that adversity that maybe you could apply to this year?
No, for sure. There's there's a lot of things that I look at from an inward standpoint. Like what could I have done better from a scheduling standpoint to help our guys stay fresh? What could we have done from a practice standpoint to help our guys stay healthy? That's the big thing. What can we do to stay fresh, excited about playing the game, and stay healthy all at the same time? Some things you have no control over, but so we've been diving into the schedule compared to a year ago. Tried changing things up. We're changing things up moving forward. Nothing drastic, but enough to try to keep our guys both physically, emotionally, and mentally involved, where they don't feel like it's just, oh, here we go again. This is a long day. It's just trying to make sure we find that balance where we still hit what we're trying to hit from a preparation standpoint, but again, keeping our guys fresh both mentally and physically.
Robert, I don't know if there's any secret to it, because if you knew it, you'd probably be undefeated. But when you're coming off, such an emotional, big victory, a week and a half ago, essentially, or by the time you guys get rolling back on the practice field again, how do you keep that energy and momentum back up again? If it makes any sense. Obviously, you get the Giants, so that that probably is a manufactured. High a little bit there as well. But you know what I'm saying? You guys, that locker room is pretty euphoric after that Philly game.
Yeah.
How do you keep that energy?
No, for sure. That's I feel like that's been our language. It's why every moment's a championship moment. It's why we speak the way we speak, where you don't treat any one game bigger than the next. Every game is a championship game. And there was a lot of excitement for beating Philadelphia. It was a great atmosphere. Everyone was pretty charged after the game, but you don't approach any game differently than you do any other game. Obviously, the Giants and inner city rival, all that good stuff. That's great, but it's another championship opportunity, and the mindset is to always approach every day of life as you would the whole mindset of go to bed better than when you woke up. You're always attacking things like it's a championship moment, and if you do that, you'll have that level of consistency of juice and energy, and in terms of attacking every moment you can.
What did you end up doing yesterday? Did you watch the Giant game? Did you watch football? Did you just hang with the family, or all of the above?
I had three kids games. I had my daughter had soccer. Two of my boys had football. So it was a full day of watching youth sports.
Did you see any of the Giant game at all yesterday?
Yeah, my phone had the red zone, so I was kind of, just could hear what's going on and all that. They're talented, man. They're defensively, they're very, very impressive on the defensive side of the ball. You guys know how much respect I have for Wink and everything he does, and offensively, they're starting to move the ball very well. I think they had over 350 yards yesterday, moving the ball consistently up and down the field. Thought they did a great job versus Buffalo, putting themselves in position to win that football game. So they're hitting stride. They look really good. They're starting to look a lot like that playoff team that team that made the playoffs a year ago.
Robert, you said that when you were talking about coming off the bye, you said it's the third time in a row you're trying something different. Can you be specific on what you're trying?
Just scheduling stuff. Just trying to tweak the schedule. Like you could say first year felt like we stayed on the gas and we did improve as the year went on. Last year I felt like we may have taken too much off, where it just kind of fizzled away, and we're trying to find that happy medium. Because in year one I felt like we got better as the year went on, finished strong. Last year obviously we didn't, so somewhere there's a middle ground where we can keep guys fresh and healthy and try to finish this thing as strong as we can.
Robert, when you see what happened yesterday with Buffalo losing, to New England and Miami losing, that this division, even though it's still early, it's wide open for you guys.
Yeah, it's way too early. It's any given Sunday. Anybody can win. We got to take it one game at a time. Obviously, the Giants are looking at life a little bit differently. Also, they've got a chance coming up if they're looking at their schedule, saying, "God, we got some winnable games," and so all our attention is on the Giants and controlling the things that we got control over, and it's fun to watch the way the NFL plays out. I mean, it's a league of equality, so it just seems like it's designed for everyone to play 500 football. But all our focus is on the Giants, is trying to find a way to do our best against those guys.
Robert, since we last talked to you, guys obviously made a trade. I'm curious if the emergence of Xavier Gibson kind of changed the plans a little bit of wide receiver this season, because obviously when you sign an undrafted rookie like that, you don't necessarily expect him to play a huge role, but his role seems to be increasing as the season's gone on.
No, for sure, he's a big reason. He's the major reason. Obviously, he it takes me back. I learned a lesson a long time ago in Seattle. When I was with Pete Carroll, we signed. I think I told you guys the story, but we signed Matt Flynn, if you guys remember, to that big contract, and he was going to be our quarterback. And then we drafted in the third round this kid from Wisconsin named Russell Wilson, and comes out in OTAs and like, wow, that guy's pretty good. That young little quarterback's pretty good, but this is Matt Flynn's football team. And then you get to training camp and it's like, damn, this guy's really good. And next thing you know, he beats out the guy that got all the money, and the rest is history for Russell Wilson. And, with McColl's been fantastic. A good young man. He's been very positive in the locker room and all that. And, he's battling injuries during OTAs and training camp, trying to get himself back up to speed. But in the meantime, while he was trying to get himself back up to speed and being limited, here comes this undrafted rookie you don't expect anything from, but you're like, wow, this guy's pretty good in OTAs. And then in training camp, it's like, man, this guy's really freaking good. And so it's just an opportunity for us to develop a young guy, and nothing against McColl. It's unfortunate, but also excited for him and his opportunity. Thought he did a really good job on that punt return yesterday. But more of a testament to Xavier Gibson. He was able to get some reps because McColl was still kind of recovering through his injury. And he took it and ran with it, and he's doing a heck of a job.
Robert, I know you don't know about Dwayne Brown yet, but when he does return, how difficult of a decision is that? What to do with him and Mekhi Becton at the two tackle spots?
It won't be difficult. We'll always do what's best for the organization first, and with the whole mindset to play our best five.
Is there a possibility that he could be playing a new position, whether it be guard or being moved to right tackle?
We'll see. We got to see where he is health-wise to see if we can even get him up this week to begin with.
Robert, with regard to Zach, obviously last year was very up and down all over the yard for him, and can you just speak to kind of where he is right now compared to those periods of time, when he made those unfortunate comments after Patriots game and the benchings and all that kind of stuff, and Mike White and the T-shirts and all that. And this is kind of his team now, presumably for the rest of the year, unless Aaron comes back. So, what signs do you see that he is owning that, and that the player, that there's a respect level around him amongst his teammates?
I think I don't want to speak too much for him, but just empathetically from as a human, I think when you get when the whole world's coming down on you, you naturally you're going to defend yourself, and it's what the difference between last year and this year, I think. And again, it's a lot of things that you guys don't see because you guys aren't at practice. But his execution at practice is so much better than it was at this time a year ago, where I think he knows that he can play this game and he's got inner confidence with himself first, and I think he feels his teammates around him know that he can play football and he can play at a high level, and so he feels the confidence that his teammates have in him also, and because of it. It's very easy to hold yourself accountable when you know people have your back. That's empathetically speaking from just human nature. And I think he feels that this organization's behind him. I think he feels that the locker room's behind him. I think he feels that the coaching staff is behind him. And then on top of it, I think he sees that he's practicing really well. His teammates see that he's practicing well. And then you get to game day, and I think everyone sees that he's gotten a lot better. He still has a long way to go, but he's incrementally getting better. And I think because of that, knowing that people have his back, I think it's very easy for a person to be able to take accountability when when people have your back.
Just as a follow on that, where would you characterize the coaching staff's trust level is with him? Obviously, because he's performing better, he's looking better in practice. Do you feel like we're getting to the point where maybe the reins are loosened a little bit for him to let it go a little bit, for lack of a better way to put it?
No, I think that trust level started with that Kansas City game. I think from a game plan standpoint, it's been an open book with him, starting with the Kansas City game where it was all right. Let's see what he's got, and now he's proven it. He's proven it week in and week out, and he's doing a really nice job. Now there's defenses dictate where the ball goes and what you can and can't do offensively, but as far as game planning and trying to figure out, we're not trying to hide Zach at all. We're letting him play football, and the play designs and the game plan is one that is for a quarterback that we trust.
We'll take a few more for Coach.
Robert, you've been on teams, a few teams going back to your San Francisco days that have suffered significant quarterback injuries, but none more significant than this year. Obviously, what's the key? As the coach, what's the secret to keeping a team together, morale-wise, when it seems like the walls are coming down when you lose a guy of Aaron's stature?
It's a good one, Rich. It's a really good one. For me, it goes back to what you do in the off season in terms of the type of person you bring in the locker room, and I think that's why we're all in love with the group that we have. They're intrinsically motivated. They love the game of football. They actually enjoy being around one another. And so when you have adverse situations, is it always going to be clean? It's not. Are you going to have moments where there's doubt and there's frustration? Absolutely. But you can be frustrated and have doubt, but still be all in to being the best version of yourself you can possibly be. And I think that's what's cool about this group is that they come to work, they come with purpose, they come with intent. And human nature, if things aren't going well, you're going to be frustrated and you're going to express your frustration. But when their cleats hit the grass and their helmet goes on, they're balling. When they walk through these doors, they're locked in, paying attention, and trying to figure out how they can be their best on tape. And that's really how you weather it. You weather it by bringing in the right people, because at the end of the day, character overcomes adversity more than athletes. That will always be the case. And we've got a group of great character.
Robert, just with the injuries quickly, are Sauce and DJ Reed, part of that group that you'll have to see a little bit later in the week, their availability?
Yeah, we'll have a better idea Wednesday.
Are they still?
They're still in the protocol.
Thanks.
When you did your scouting, did you notice anything with film study over this break? Did you notice anything with the red zone issues that kind of caught your eye?
Yeah, obviously with some missed opportunities, there's some things that we could have been better as coaches on. And I'm referring really to the last 2 weeks because as we've been trying to build it, I'm looking at the last 3 weeks really is kind of the barometer for us from a red zone standpoint. But I thought we were really good versus Kansas City. Denver felt like it just, from a coaching staff standpoint, I felt like we could have been better. And then last week, I felt like we could have had more success. There was a missed opportunity. Won't get into where that missed opportunity was, but we had a couple of penalties also that kicked us out of field goal range or kicked us out of the red zone to create unmanageable situations. So there's opportunity to be had. Just got to play cleaner football. But like I said, we're close. We're getting to the red zone. That's the positive. Getting it across the goal line. Like I said, one game I felt like we could have been better as a coaching staff. Philadelphia felt like we could have been better in terms of execution and taking advantage of our opportunities. And hopefully this week we can find all those fixes and be a little bit more successful.
We'll do one last one here for Coach. All right, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.